So my name is Matilda. I'm in product marketing here at Gorgias, and I've been honestly, it's been great working with Pepper team here and Raphael. He's the product manager of AI Agent. So it's just been truly incredible to see how fast AI is evolving. A little scary, honestly, with Tiana's demo with the voice and the video generation. But I think what she said actually really resonated with me is that there are risks, but the opportunity is higher. And if you're not leveraging it, you're going to fall behind. And that's just the nature of it. So today we're going to talk specifically about how to turn chat into a revenue engine. And I'm sure some of you may be still skeptical with AI. So we can maybe talk about in ways in which you can leverage your human team to leverage and drive as much as revenue as you can. But show of hands, how many people are using chat right now? Okay, a lot of you actually, which is great. So the reason why we wanted to talk about this today is because, like Max said in the main stage, there are 3 current ways that I can think of traditionally in us relying on these channels to drive revenue, typically. And these are essential tactics. I'm not going to undermine them. Email marketing strategies where you do a lot of A/B testing to make sure you're nailing the conversations right, or actually broadcasts, right? So you're kind of suggesting, hey, here are the promotions, here are some of the things that you may like, please come back to our website. So the whole idea is to re-engage with people, get people to come back. And then there is, of course, the personalization aspect within the website. So a lot of product information, pop-ups, quizzes, forms. There's a lot of different channels or tools that are now available out there. And of course, ads for you marketing people out there. I'm not sure who's in charge of paid ads, but ad costs are rising and people are shifting their strategies to retention strategies. And I've been seeing a lot of marketing leaders move towards like, how do we stop the bucket from leaking? Like, you're bringing a lot of people in, but how do we make sure they convert? So this is where chat comes in, because chat gives you the opportunity to truly have these conversations. I think with these channels, they're great, but you're not really hearing what people have to say. The insights is kind of missing, and you're working with a black box. And so chat is the only way that you can really understand what the customer wants and have that true one-on-one experience. So tech giants like Amazon and e-com giant like Walmart, what they're already doing is they're heavily investing in this tool, in a conversational AI tool. And so Amazon Rufus is actually projected to drive $700 million in indirect profit this year alone. And for Walmart, they've already seen 22% growth year over year with conversational AI platform by improving the customer experience. So we want to be able to bring this sort of the level of personalized shopping experience for you guys through chat, through AI. But of course, the first starting point is making sure your chat is available at all times. And if you're not leveraging AI, then making sure that the chat's available and capturing email addresses to make sure that you're following up correctly. But all that to say, I actually want to do a fun kind of story for Pepper. So the level of experience that we want to create here is when you, let's say Pepper, there's a store, you go in and you're wondering, okay, which kind of bra size should I get? And then there's an in-store sales associate or in-store associate that goes, do you need help with sizing? And then you're like, okay, I'm not sure about this. Like, you go through the different processes and the salesperson goes, actually, there's a buy one, get one free, or buy two, get one free. I've actually been a part of, those promotions. So
Good.
And the bra's amazing. Anyway, so this is the kind of level of experience that we cannot create without chat, that real-time engagement and experience when the customers are the most ready to buy. So that's exactly what we helped Pepper to create, and she's been our early testers, one of the early testers. And so without further ado, we want to introduce you the shopping element of Shopping Assistant and go deeper into what Max already had talked about, the upsells, the product recommendations, but what does it actually look like in practice, and how did Gabby and her team leverage these features to drive more revenue? So let's talk about the first conversation here, actually. So this is, by the way, all real tickets, and what let's take a step back. And Gabby, like, what kind of questions do you guys usually get on your site?
Yeah, so I mean, being an intimates brand, especially like one that's online, our customers who are buying our products, they want to know that what they're buying is gonna fit them. Because I mean, who here has like bought something online that says it's your size and then you get it and it's like 4 sizes too small? I mean, right? And so that's our customers often would email us, chat us to like make sure that the bra that they're getting is gonna fit them perfectly. They feel confident buying it, and then they feel confident wearing it after. And so size and fit is our bread and butter. And then after that, obviously, with size and fit comes with returns. Like, this one didn't fit me, I bought a couple sizes. How do I return? What's your warranty policy like? What is this bra made of? How does it feel? And I really thought that those were like interesting questions that they were asking, because when we would do like market research and actually go into stores and ask customers like, what do you like about shopping in store? It was like, yeah, I really enjoy that I can like touch the product and put my hands on it and like understand what this is gonna feel like on my body. And so customers wonder that too in the online space, but they just reach out to customer service instead of, I don't know, ordering a product just to touch it.
And do you think that, how has it been better with AI, especially, you know that these are repetitive questions that you get, and
Yeah.
are you noticing any trends with return rate being reduced because they're being educated through chat in real time when they're about to purchase?
Yeah, so I mean, before we signed on with Gorgias, the product we used before, the platform we used before, we just didn't have chat on because we didn't have any automation. There wasn't a way, we just didn't have enough employees to fully manage chat in our email channels at one time. And so I kind of felt like, you know, you go in to buy something, inevitably you take like a journey. Like, yes, I'm excited to buy this. Oh no, I don't know what size to get. Okay, I know my size. What kind of bra do I get? And so we often found that like customers were coming to us when they had like already tried to use our like size quiz. They didn't understand how to measure themselves, and so they were already like at that like, I'm disappointed, and then they would have to wait 4 to 5 hours to hear back from us, and then that would just like lose that impulse buy when you're initially excited to, you know, buy our products. And so like with chat, and especially like having like a proactive chat, we can reach customers at the point where they're like, oh yes, I'm so excited to buy, right before they take that dip where they're like, oh no, I don't know what size to get. Our chat will pop up and say, do you want to know what size you should get? And the customers love that. They love being able to have that touch point that they would get in the store, or like even, you know, with the new things that you guys are coming out, like seeing the data that customers have asked in the past, and like, oh, do you want to know what this feels like? You know, like those kind of questions, I feel like just really help the customer journey be more linear rather than like, oh, up and down, and that we're fighting a battle to get the customers to trust our brand.
And why do you think chat is, in that sense, more powerful than other interactive channels like email or even social channels?
Yeah, well, I just feel like it's like you said, it's like you're having a conversation. While it still may be like online and virtual, it's still like a real like back and forth. And even if it might be with AI, it's like the AI is conversational. They're like, well, I don't know, like maybe I want a red color, and the AI is like, absolutely, like let's get you in the like red color. It's gonna look amazing. And so the customers feel like this conversation is really tailored to them, and in a sense, it is, you know. And I think that just gives them a personal experience, and it really breeds like community within our customers.
And speaking of community, when we chatted, you said that building that sense of community was really important for Pepper.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
what are some of the ways that you are creating that level sense of community, and also especially through chat?
Yeah, so one of the ways that we wanted to like build community with our customers is like, one of our main goals was like, we want to take over her closet. Like, yes, we sell bras, but we also sell like underwear, we sell swim, we often have like athleisure. And that's somewhere where like the sales agent specifically has been a game changer, is like showing you like, hey, you bought this bra in the past, did you know now we have a swimsuit that is that same material? And the customers are like, had no idea. We often have customers that come to us Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they're coming to us to shop the sale, and then we may not see them again until the next year. And so they don't know about all the new products that we have coming out. And so when we have an AI that's like proactively telling them, like, look at these new products, the customers are like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then they end up, you know, expanding their Pepper collection.
What's super interesting is, if you guys have a look at this ticket here too, the customer actually just proactively reached out to chat without just no prompt.
Yeah.
They were just coming in and saying, hey, I really liked this ribbed style. And of course, the shopping assistant goes to work and starts trying to upsell in the same material, like Gabby mentioned, swimsuit, like bottom that could match with it. So this is the beauty of really having that customer profile, historical purchase information. So that way, again, the way I shop, you shop is so different.
Yeah, and it's like telling your friend about it. Like, I know the amount of times I'm like, oh yeah, I had this really like cute romper that I loved, and it was like this flowy material, and your friend's like, oh yeah, and you should check out this thing too, because it's like that, it looks that same way, it gives that same look, you know. So it really it sounds, and I swear this isn't like a sales pitch, but it literally is conversational. It sounds like you're talking to a person.
And what level, I mean, we can get to it in a bit later too, but how did you customize that? I mean, it doesn't happen on its own. You had to like work to get there. And what was that experience like?
I mean, so we trained Penelope, that's what we call our AI agent, Penelope. We trained her like we would train any of our agents. We told her, these are Pepper's values. This is Pepper's tone of voice. We want you to be fun. We want you to be casual. We want it to feel like they're having a conversation with their friend, because that's how we expect our human agents to talk to our customers. It's like we're a bunch of gals hanging out, getting you in good bras. And the tone of voice needed some tailoring, but really we just kind of like let it go. And from her like doing her thing, we were able to really narrow her voice down to exactly what Pepper needed. And it's not like we don't just like let her run free now. Like there's still a lot of grading that goes into it, just making sure that the tone of voice stays how we want it to be. But again, like she does an amazing stuff, and she does like pulls information that I may have forgotten about like from 6 months ago, and she's like, here's the answer to your question that would have taken me like maybe an hour to find out. So yeah, it's a lot of training, but also like just showing the AI who your brand is.
And I don't know if you had a chance to connect with Ren. She's also here from Hello Tushy. So her and I have been chatting about the shopping assistant piece too, and how it's really helping her increase the average order value.
Yeah.
And she said that she actually had a competition with the human agents and shopping assistant. And she said that if you could get the human agents to sell the Ace bidet, which is like the premium bidet that they offer, we'll have a pizza party. And unfortunately, no one could do it.
No.
And it was a shopping assistant who could do it. And so it's because, again, I'm in marketing, so it's not really natural for me to go out and try like actively sell.
Yeah.
But if your shopping assistant is designed to do that, so that your CX agents don't have to think about like, oh my God, I need to upsell, I need to promote this, but they're really tailoring to human connection while the shopping assistant is selling in the background. And then we made a joke about how like Penelope, the Gina, the Tushy AI bot's gonna have their own pizza party because they were the only ones they
Well,
were
and
able
that's
to
the
sell.
thing. Like I remember for showing the results of like what like Pepper's conversion rate was and the revenue we were generating, and our VP was like, "What are you guys doing?" And it's like, well, our AI has a really like verbose knowledge system. We really take care of our AI, and our AI is taking care of us too. So yeah, it's it being tailored to make sales and do it at like a casual. Is casual the right word? It doesn't feel like you're being sold to, kind of thing.
It feels subtle.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally have chatted, and now that I know what Gorgias is possible of offering, like I want that level of experience in any kind of brand, especially with like the support agent being able to action too with the address changes. Like it just goes above and beyond just the pre-sales from the shopping assistant perspective, but the post-sales aspect too. So actually, okay, this one we wanted to talk about. Oh, another upsell actually example. We talked about this. So a customer comes in, and the AI, the shopping assistant actually immediately knows, and this is the piece that Max was talking about earlier too, with the context-aware piece. So it knows what you're browsing, what you've purchased in the past, session length, where are you coming from, what products, pages are you viewing, and so it knows, I see that you've been checking out the Ultimate Contour Bra. When you saw this example, what was your immediate thought, and like, did you think, wow, like I can't believe it's like trying to upsell in like the black color because this specific color isn't available?
Yes, exactly that. Like I would have like wanted to know like what her order history was and like what stock we had at the time, because like I wish we would have like recommended more of a brown bra, but also this is like the difference, like what time did this come in? I feel like
remember
it did it come
2
in, yeah, 2 a.m. where we could have created a rule and done like an auto response that was like, okay, product out of stock, sorry, it's out of stock, you can wait for it to be restocked. But the fact that we have sales agent, even though it may not have been another brown color, it still said, we don't have this, but you should try this instead. So instead of it being a closed conversation, now it was more of a conversation of, well, we have these other products, do you want to check them out? And redirecting our customer back to the site and back to shopping, rather than just like, sorry, come back again later, you know, at 2 a.m. I'm not going to be up at 2 a.m. telling a customer to come back to our site.
I'm really curious to understand, how are you guys currently driving upsells and increasing cart size, if anyone's like brave enough to to speak to that?
So for like character people brand one of the ways that we upsell is we do product suggestions.
Yeah.
So I'd like to keep saying the outfit shirt. That's so good. We also offer very similar suggestions, you know, for out of stock or something, you know, like one thing that I should call it.
Yeah, I feel like anything is better than just saying no. You know, no is such a closed ending. Yeah, that's amazing.
And do you feel like, when you look at an experience like this, in your opinion, do you feel like the level of chat is a little bit more intuitive than the inventory that we're taking up space, especially given that it's something that we're all kind of aware of and already expect? It's like, I already know that it's going to show me like frequently bought things or complimentary recommendations. What are your thoughts there? Like in terms of click-through rate, engagement rate, like buy rate, do you feel like this chat experience could offer a little bit more, or what's your take there?
Absolutely. I mean, it lets you know your friends. So
Yeah.
it's down like it over fast because they can get, you know, they can get what's in the harder for its size.
Yeah.
All of that is a key. I can photo.
Amazing. She's not planted, by the way. She is.
She's gonna be from now on.
Amazing. Thank you.
We do that. So it's working for us.
Yeah.
Just implement it in other sites.
Amazing. Any other questions /
Yeah, curious at all. You work on the knowledge base. Like, is that what recommended?
Yeah, so I and another associate, we kind of, so let me back up real quick. Because of like the volume that the AI agent is taking care of, we're being able to like actually offer more opportunities to our internal agents, since they're not having to be in queue all the time. And so we pulled another associate to come in and like help me with AI agent. And so like I set the guidances, I set the rules, and then we grade every single day. Like you guys heard from Mia in Glamnetic, they grade at least 10 tickets a day. We do that as well. We're grading, we set aside an hour of our day just to grade Penelope and to see if like there's any trends. We grade her CSAT, we grade her accuracy, and if we see any trends, then we kind of like either go into like new guidances, new rules, or if all else fails, which I will not say I'm the smartest at how to set up AI. We're completely new to AI. We've never had it. And so I will use and abuse our gorgeous team. I feel like they hear from me every single day. Every single day, I'm emailing them. Like, I have a question, and I often sometimes refer to them as like my little Santa Clauses, because I'm like, I have this thing that I want you to do. Can we make this happen? And so, yeah, we're grading it every single day, but also like in terms of like, if the AI is doing something weird, I'm running to Gorgias, and I'm like, hey, help me. Yes.
When you product, what do you do? You to retrain the HR the new product?
Like new styles? Oh, yeah. Well, so no, not really, because the AI can like see our website, sees that we have new styles. And so like our embroidery line, we came out with this really beautiful like floral embroidery line. And we like, I think like the next day I could search like florals, and it would say like, hey, we have this embroidery line. Like, do you want to try it? But like, with that said, like, it's not perfect. And so if we have like, if it fits different and like the customers are coming back and they're upset because they bought this bra and it doesn't fit the same, then we know it's easier to catch trends that way. So you can go back and fix it easier. If that makes sense. I love the questions.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah.
I manage a brand called Aquature and bronze and dust.
Okay.
Boo. Okay.
Or just can you run A/B?
Yes. So we're with Penelope, no, but we also use Convert. And with Convert, you can run A/B test. And I actually don't know if this is, but we actually asked them.
Oh yeah. So we hear you loud and clear. Currently, we do offer some solutions with some brands on
Oh.
like Optimizely, Intelligent. If you're using
Yeah.
those solutions, we have done A/B testing with Glemnetic. So we've done A/B testing with Gorgias AI versus Meta AI. We've done A/B testing, no chat, yes chat, which is why we're so confidently saying this and hosting this workshop because without
don't
proof,
A/B
we're
test me
not
for
going
no
to.
chat.
Yeah. So we have seen consistently around 75% to 2x higher in conversion rate when we are employing Gorgias AI /chat. Yeah. But it would be, we're trying to, understand like the needs of it. How do we make sure that we're supporting you throughout the right process to highlight incrementality?
That was a question that was really important to our digital team, was the ability to A/B test, because, you know, I feel like the conversion is very sensitive, and so anything you change could change your conversion drastically. So they were a little hesitant about it, but I mean, we've really only had like really good results thus far.
Before we address, I think it was at the back. But going back to your question, so we have again Raphael and his team. I've been witnessing him and his team work like 15 to 20 hours, trying to make sure that it just makes it easy for you guys to train and optimize your AI agent.
Yeah.
We're scraping the entire Shopify catalog to make sure the information that you're feeding AI agent is real time. And we're continuously improving the shopping assistant's like playbook in the background, AI intent, and the way it talks, and improving quality to make sure it hallucinates less. Because GPT hallucinates too. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
ask for like board games instructions sometimes or book summary, I'm like, this is not true. We have done prove it quality tests from like, to be honestly, very transparently, 73% was considered like good, great quality. We've improved it to, I believe, like 20% increase. And over again, we're just doing better.
Yeah.
And so this is just a starting point. As you've also heard with OpenAI, we're continuously evolving with them. So we're really excited to see what's next.
Yeah, I love getting like new product things coming. For like Raph will Slack me and be like, do you want to try this? And I love being able to like have a conversation with him and be like, yeah, but I would want it to do this. Can you make it do that? And so like just really being able to like maybe not tailor it to specifically to us, but like that's how I feel. I'm like, yeah, we asked for this to happen and now we have it.
But yeah, any questions?
Curious, how long roughly for you to kind of set up the ID and how bandwidth
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's a great question. So we started in June of last year. So we're fairly new to Gorgias, less than a year. And we started in June. And Becky, you're here. When did we go live with Gorgias? Like when it was outward facing? August, yeah. So it took from, I believe, the mid-June until August to go fully live. And when we went fully live, AI Agent was live. And it was me and my other team lead working on the voice and testing. That is honestly is my number one tip to anybody that's using AI is you just have to test it to the high heavens until it says exactly what you want it to say. And then that's how you get that conversation. But yeah, it was just me and her, and we built it. And after that, we kind of just like let it run. We let it do its thing. And then from there, it was just kind of like, it's, I kind of equate it to like a little kid, like learning to ride a bike. You're like, go that way a little bit, you know? And so you just, yeah.
We also, to add on to that, for AI agent, of course, there's support skills, and that one, you're training it holistically. So we have a program called 50 and 50. So the idea is to get you to the perfect, well, near perfect level or 50% automation rate in 50 days. So roughly, onboarding is 2 2 weeks to 30 days.
Yeah.
Shopping assistant, honestly, I feel like it was instant because you already have that baseline. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. And I don't even remember a whole lot of like doing setup for AI agent. Occasionally it would offer a product that we didn't have stock of, and so you'd have to tell AI agent like, don't recommend that, we don't have it, but it was so easy for the sales agent part to get set up, and then you start seeing like results immediately. Like you start seeing what revenue that chatbot is bringing in and like how it's helping your team and what your conversion rate is. Yeah, I remember having that pretty immediate. I couldn't give you like a timeline, but like when I went to go look at it, it was there. So I hope that answered your question. Okay.
Yeah. How do you handle like offline conversation, like the needed and the
Yeah.
during the day or the hour time, the hand, the customer pass?
Yeah. So we do have handover topics, and we still, even though like we rely more on guidances now, we do still have handover topics that we want our agents to strictly, follow. Like if we have a super escalated customer, we want a human touch on that. If we have questions about like wanting like a fit appointment, we send that to a human. And so we tailor our handover topics, but then we also like look at trends and, adjust our guidances to that. The handover is super easy most times. And I will say we did have to set up a guidance that was like, if the customer asks the same question more than once, hand it over, because we were having that issue of like it's repeating the same information, which it happens, it's AI, and that's why you fix it. But after we set up that guidance, it really like was smooth from there. So it's mostly just training, and yeah, I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah, and then in off hours, the AI just says like we'll have somebody with you when they're back online, because we have it, I think, tailored to our business hours. So the customers don't seem to mind it, and also like the experience. You got to understand what the experience was like for them before, when we had like 400 plus tickets closing our day every day, a year ago, when it was like, we'll get back to you as soon as we can, and it was 2 to 3 days to we'll get back to you in like maybe 8 hours. Like that's a much better experience for them. Maybe next year they'll be like, I want like 30-second response time, but we'll find out when we get there.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know who's in charge, so.
Are you converting return three into sale?
Like, does the revenue reflect returns? Yes, it does. And that's something we're gonna look at for like the next like couple quarters, is how do we like save a return from being a return and turn it into an exchange. And I will say like the way AI has helped with that, again, by like freeing up some of our agents' time, that now we can offer virtual fit appointments, whereas before it was like we were strictly email, strictly chat, but now we can have like these personal Zoom calls with our customers where we can like, and 100% of those virtual fit appointments have switched from I'm returning this for a refund to like, okay, I'll try the size you recommended.
I'm going to move on to the next slide, and then we can come back to the questions because we do have a Q&A section. But I want us to speak about the two settings that we have. So that's one's like selling style, how you want for shopping assistant to approach how it converses with the customers, and also the discount strategy, which I don't think you leverage currently.
Yeah.
But I remember you were telling me you went from balanced to promotional, and you're like,
yeah. So this is part of our training that we do. Like I meet with our CX associate that helps me with AI agent, and we kind of go through, we don't just talk training, we talk strategy. Like what do we want to give the AI next? And that we were very scared turning on AI agent when we first started with Gorgias. When we first started with Gorgias, it was like, I don't want her touching the size and fit. I don't want her touching canceling returns. I don't think so. And so like we went from that to like, okay, well, what would happen if she did? Like what, in the grand scheme of things, if a customer gets mad, we'll just take it off. And so going from like, let's push the boundaries of what we can do instead of like being like scared of using it, it was such a game changer for us. Because like if your customers don't like it, they'll tell you, And so we actually we had the like sales assertiveness at like moderate, like let's have a fine balance of education and, you know, promotional at the same time. And we kind of just thought to ourselves like, well, what would happen if we turned it all the way up? Like, if they hate it, they'll tell us, right? And so we turned it all the way up, and our customers have actually really appreciated it. Like, it's still, at the end of the day, so you still get your support questions answered. Where's my order? How do I return? But also it's like, okay, yeah, your order's on its way, but also did you know we have this new thing? And the customers, it may just be Pepper customers, I don't know, but they love getting stuff put into their hands. Whether it's information or products, they're like, yeah, I'll take it, give it to me. And you know, we looked at the feedback from that. Penelope CSAT didn't go down. Like, we're like, if it's annoying, people are gonna tell us. They're not gonna just like passively be like, oh, that sucks. Our conversion rate actually went up. We were averaging like a 15% conversion rate, and then after we cranked up the persuasion, we went up to like an 18%. So
Pepper team did a customer story with us. And there's at the bottom, I don't know if you remember, it says, we have an ambitious goal of getting to 21%. They're now at 21% over like 3 weeks of time. And so the progress was incredible. And you called it ambitious. And I thought it was so funny that you're like, I don't know.
Well,
if we
yeah,
can get
because we
there.
were still scared at the time. And I think it's like the same thing with like your employees. Like, you spend all this time training your human employees, and then at some point you have to let them go, right? Same thing with your AI agent. You spend hours plugging information into it, and at some point you have to trust it to do its job. And if it's not doing its job, then you have more information. Like, either way, you're going to get valuable information.
And I want to move on to the proactive assistance piece, because it does really help. For chat campaigns, we've seen like 37% reduction in bounce rate. So we want customers, because sometimes chat isn't seen as like somewhere you go to ask for recommendations sometimes. Like, I typically used to go to chat when I needed help on like, where's my order? The typical questions, support related questions. But we want to change that where, again, GPT. That's why we tried the search query bar at the bottom right there too, to really mimic the way people get information. You go to ChatGPT, you go to Google, and Gemini summarizes everything for you.
Right.
So I think that's a level of kind of experience that people expect and want.
Right.
And so we really wanted customers to see that brands are here I'm here whenever you need,
Exactly.
whatever you need. And these are the customer questions that a lot of other people have. Do you have the same questions? Because we can help, because a lot of people drop off without knowing that there's help out there, or like quizzes or blogs. People are so lazy.
It's funny
don't
that
wanna
you
read
say
it
that, because we had a customer interview with someone who hadn't purchased from us since Black Friday, and we were kind of like getting her feedback. And I had asked her, like, what do you like in your like experience with customer support? Like, what do you want out of your customer support? And she was like, what do you mean? And I'm like when you talk to customer service. She's like, I don't talk to customer service. I didn't even know there was customer service for online companies. And I was like, what? Girl, get to our site right now.
I love that. And do you guys feel like your customers, and how do you get information about your customers currently? Like, for example, if you're not opening up this communication channel, is there a way for you guys to understand, okay, why are they dropping off outside of the hard data that you see on analytics pages? But like, why do you feel like people drop off on your website?
Are you asking me that? Or are you asking?
Well, Pepper, I'm sure it's like sizing and fit quite a bit.
Yeah, I want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, I'm really curious, because I know people experience bounce rates very differently. So curious if you have something that you're passionate about in terms of.
I work at frequently. It's usually finance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you offer discount codes, or nervous about it? Yeah.
Yeah, we have our welcome district code, and then not really, but we have phones. So like, if they're calling in and to convert them, we do that on. But in general, like through like a chat,
And why is that?
come back.
That's the thing that's scary about like using like the discount code thing. But also I can see how it's valuable. You know, like if you have customers that are dropping off, like let's say it's like you go to Good Dye Young to buy hair dye, you don't know what hair dye to buy, and you're like, this is really stressing me out. Like, I wish I knew if this would work on my hair. And then all of a sudden you get a pop-up that's like, hey, like we'll give you, and you chat in, they're like, we'll give you 20% off. Like, you're like, okay, actually, yeah, I don't care if it does, if it's crap on my hair, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, the way we built our discount strategy was very intentional for that reason because a lot of brands don't want to just offer a blanket state discount
Yeah.
to everybody. So the way we built it is two things. Number one, we do have chat campaigns capabilities on exit intent, and we're building upon that continuously. So we're only potentially offering it to people that are about to leave. So you're very intentional. And number two is we've built this AI intent system where, again, reviewing all the customer data you have. And I mean, kudos to you, Raphael. Like, he built this crazy engine where it's like looking at every data point to understand, are they interested? Are they likely to buy? Or are they just like browsing and not? So
Are
we're
they a
only,
looky-loo?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're only offering to people that would drive high impact.
Yeah, question.
Yeah. So what I'll say to that is the only our like digital team didn't want that bar that was like need any help, and it just stayed like that because it blocked like important things in the PDP, and they didn't want that. Understandable. The new like proactive chat that we have in our search bar, so much better because now it's like activated like search. It comes up as a chat bubble. They can click off of it if they want to, but what I've been doing like with our marketing team, I haven't gotten any feedback from our digital or like any like bad feedback from our digital or our marketing team since implementing the stuff that we have. But I really work with what our marketing calendar says of like we have a promo running. I'm running a promo too, you know, like I'm promoting that promo out so it's less like I'm doing this on my own and more like this is our thing that we're doing together. They don't know we have a partnership like that though, but you know, eventually they will.
I'm gonna, yeah, and then I'll go to.
Capabilities of like right? What is product capabilities identify whether that new or return? For example, it might be interested in same day, send it for email to get order. No.
For chat campaigns, so known as Convert as well, we do have that functionality. For AI generated, I'm not quite sure actually. So we do have manual functionality where you can say, offer this messaging for people that have visited this site once versus any time that someone has visited more than twice or have purchased more than, let's say, like $200 in the past. So you
Yeah.
can segment it that way. So that is an option. But with the AI shopping assistant, I'm not quite sure if that's on the roadmap. It is in the roadmap. Yes. You can also configure that manually, and you could do A/B testing on the messaging too. So maybe you want to say, hey, log in versus not to see which one would people be drawn to more and what's the engagement rate like. Possible. Again, with AI generated, we're typically dynamically surfacing like preemptive questions in case they have anything for the product side, but you are not going to update that like messaging because it's all AI driven, but we do have a manual solution on the side. Yeah. Yes. So I think that's, I don't
By a
want
what?
to say it's coming, but yes.
So yeah, basically we're taking the pictures that are sent by shoppers, transform that into text using like melody, and then this how you like whether they're turning it text like Excel or whether I'm the parts. What yeah.
Oh.
So then we email them back or what you need.
Yeah.
Like the parts page. That's part of what.
Yeah, so like what you're asking for, I'm pretty sure you could do through a chat campaign. Like if they're on a certain part and they're struggling, you can set a rule like you're here for this long. Let's go ahead and ask them if they need to, you know, send us information. And we actually, this is something we just started doing with our AI agent is just the very bare minimum of like warranty. And so our AI agent knows like if somebody comes to us and they're like, "Oh, I think my bra is defective." They know we need PO number, we need photos, and you know, and so even though they're not analyzing those photos for us, they're gathering information for us and saving us that additional time.
Yeah, you'd need human agents
Yeah.
to step in and
And that's
recognize that
okay.
image.
Like I feel like you are gonna need humans all the time. You can't get rid of us, you know?
Yes. Then we'll got this out. You know, got the community guy. You got management.
So we do like have our size chart on our website, and the AI can pull information from our website. But it also, so like we'll upload that document into our, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I don't know if you have Gorgias, but in your sales agent settings, it says upload an SOP doc. And so we uploaded our common size and fit questions, and we uploaded like our size chart. And so it will take like the measurements and recommend a size, but also it will take, since we've given it the information of like, this is what it means if a customer says their cups fit, but their band is riding up, you know? So they can give very basic stuff. But if someone's like, I've tried 7 bras and they're all doing like something different, then the AI knows like, okay, let me hand that over to you, or let me get you set up with a fit appointment.
And I think this ticket as well, if you see, so the proactive assist actually based on what they're
Yeah.
already browsing, it's asking, are you looking for a perfect fit for size 40, knowing that it's coming from size 40 page that they're browsing.
Yeah.
And they're saying looking for a 40B, and then it suggests a number of products, and then you can see the cart content as well. And if the customer if we were able to match that guest ID to the session ID with the customer profile, then we would also be able to pull their historical sizes too.
One of my favorite examples of the proactive assist is somebody put in the search like soft molded cups, or that's all they put in, and the AI agent was like, hey, yeah, so we have our signature LU bra, they have soft molded cups, what color are you looking for? And she was like, I want it in floral. And we just so happen to have a floral, and she's like, great, here are some options. We have floral, we have black, we have pink. And the customer ended up buying all three of the bras that were recommended. And I was like, that's so cool. And I like sent it to everybody.
And you can see these analytics within our page too. You can see all the recommendations that the AI agent shopping assistant is making, and also the buy rate. So
Yeah.
not only are you clicking on it, but how many times are they purchasing it? And we've seen great results. And also another thing is like you're collecting, again, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of information of what they're looking for. So I've seen a ticket where they're like, I really wish you had this kind of design available for the summer, and that's great feedback from your buyers team
Yeah.
and product team to gather that, and hopefully we can create a view on that. So how many tickets are coming in based on that specific topic, and then
And that's
give that
one of the
feedback.
biggest things of like, if people ask us like what I love about Gorgias, or like why like I agreed to be an ambassador for Gorgias, is that I really feel like as customer service, like we are often like overlooked. Like we're seen as like, oh, let's just try to cut costs in CX if we can. They're just answering emails. But like with Gorgias, it really just put a highlight on all of the amazing data that we have, and then also like how we're making that data work for us. And so like we know based on the past things that our customers are saying that they're going to want this product, and then being able to put that product in their hand and show the conversion rate for it has just really, especially like with our company specifically, has really put a highlight on our CX team of like, you guys are doing great. What else can we do? You know, and so it's like we're really working with the entire company now, and they see CX as like a partner rather than like a cost center.
And we've seen like CX team also shifting into the world of strategy, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, not just training. It's like you have all these information. How do you have the seat at the table and influence the business decisions and growth? Yeah.
Being question about that we had a money for a while. Once you pay that, your AI can like that mistake most of your questions involve negative life.
Great question. That's coming.
You see their
Yeah.
side.
I love that it's coming. What I'm doing right now is I got really, when they came out with the conditional contact reasons, you know, like I think that's what they're called, conditional topics, or what are they
Ticket
called?
fields?
Ticket fields,
Yeah.
yes. The conditional ticket fields. I spent probably 3 days just in the ticket fields. Like if they click this, we're gonna get specific with it. And at the time we were really looking at like what it was costing for us to like ship missing or lost orders. And once I like made that dashboard of like specific ticket fields, I'm like, yeah, these are how many people contacted us about a missing order, and this is how many orders we've reshipped in like the past month. And so it really just like makes your data like so specific where you can, it's a lot easier to answer questions of like whatever your execs are looking for or another department is looking for. I got nerdy in those conditional ticket fields, so if if you've thought about it, you should do it.
I was mentioning, so we would love to also for you to see it too if you haven't seen it already. It's called Voice of the Customer, and I know not much about it, but high level, I know everyone's eyes just go bling bling as soon as we talk about this feature, because
Yeah.
we want AI to be able to summarize like what are the highlights, what are the lowlights, like what are customers most frustrated about. Because AI, it's doing the work, a lot of the automating tasks, but what can we do to make sure that it's assisting you in gathering all the insights so that you can make more actionable
Yes.
items after the fact?
I
So
love that.
yeah, we're very excited.
Happened or
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We've already talked about some of the metrics, so this is something I wasn't sure if I should put it in, but this is how my brain was thinking about it. So without Shopping Assistant versus with Shopping Assistant, let's say your sessions per month stays the same, right? Like we're not currently offering any outbound, so your traffic stays the same. It's really dependent on your marketing's team to do any social ads, anyway,
Right.
to bring it in. So you get to 80K per month. Your current chat interaction, typically brands see 1% of the session because, again, it's not natural for them to reach out for a recommendation, gift, I'm looking for this. So right now 1%, but we've seen roughly around 25% increase with proactive assist and engaging with more customers. So you're seeing that difference there. And then conversion, we were able to find, again, 2x chat conversion rate. But here I kept it conservative to 62%, which is the lower end of the average that we're seeing. And if you calculate all this, an increase in average order value also kept it very conservative of 10% uplift versus 30% that we're seeing on average. So if you're calculating all the lines of what are you influencing through chat, you're generating 16K more per month. And this is what we're seeing consistently. And when you see this on the back end currently we have a lot of A/B early testers. And so when you're consistently seeing a pattern, you can't just want to replicate the strategy for all the brands. Like,
Yeah.
why don't you offer chat? And if you don't offer chat, and if you're scared of AI, why don't we start with a human agent first to see value in like that real-time interaction, and then take that leap of faith in AI? Like you said, if you hate it, then
You turn it off.
turn it. So you have all the control as a brand, and that's what we want to deliver. And so the ROI, of course, like it really depends on how much volume you're driving to the sessions and the automated interactions you're comfortable with. But that's just the calculation that I was like, this is like, for me, an aha moment of how much you can generate just through chat alone.
Yeah.
Along with all your other channels. And that's why we wanted you to unlock this new revenue engine that was previously not possible.
Right. And I just want you guys to remember, like, chat is one of our biggest revenue generators. This time last year, we didn't even, or like, but before we signed up with Gorgias, we didn't even use chat. Like, we were solely like SMS and social was our only kind of like chat-like channels. And so going from like, we're being backloaded on email to now like, let's talk about how we're making money in CX is like crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I love that. Okay, so biggest takeaway, these three things. I think, again, maximizing chat visibility. A lot of people hide chat into just the support FAQ. I recommend trying it out on all product pages, and mobile and desktop, both devices. Of course, like more than 70% of people now shop on mobile, so having it available channel agnostic, I think that's key. If you're really nervous about volume, and you want to be slow about it, you can set business hours on when your agents are available, and then you can leave email addresses so that you can always follow up and have that interaction with your customers as much as you can. Don't be scared of volume. AI is here, makes it scalable. I think honestly, 24 hours a day with ChatGPT assisting me, I'm like, I could do like triple the work that I can do, and that's the thinking that we want.
I remember like we'd had AI agent for a couple months, and then we had started with Convert, and then all of a sudden we had this like insane volume. Like there are things you don't know that you might need to fix until you have that volume. So put it out there. That's the best way to get information.
Absolutely. And then the second one, of course, you talked about like continuously iterating on your knowledge, making sure it's optimized. And the third, we have auto QA. Mia showed, I think that's a perfect example on how you can kind of define also like rating your ticket. Is this up to your standards? Because
Yeah.
everyone has different standards of what good chat or what good conversation looks
Yeah.
like. So you can go in there, rate it, and then it's going to calculate on the back end.
And I will say, like, the grading for Penelope is like super like user friendly. That we have even like told our agents, like, if you're in a ticket and it like the AI agent said something wonky, feel free to grade her. You know, because it's we have confidence in them to be able to do that because it's user friendly.
Last thing I want to cover, if you guys want 14-day trial with a shopping assistant, feel free to scan this code. This is available for Shopify brands, and if you're not on Gorgias, feel free to scan it. We'll get in touch with you, understanding that this is something that you're interested in, and would love to, do a tailored demo and see what we can do in terms of giving you access. But this code specifically is to allow you to get 14-day to test it out, see see the excitement behind it, and then we can take next steps.
Yeah.
Any more questions for Gabby and myself? Yes. Oh, yes. All right.
Question regarding identify sir, is it pixel-based tracking or cookies, or how do you identify users without having to give an email address or even log into a customer portal? How do you identify? Yeah.
Yeah, we generate a session ID. Even if you're not authenticated via your email, we're capable of tracking you session after session. And even we have this concept of attributed orders. Even if we never know your email address, we're going to keep that session ID, the pages you visited last session, the searches you've made last session. And yeah, that's how we are capable of tracking.
When it comes to privacy, though, if you obviously clear your history cache and then or use incognito or switch to mobile, we're going to have a hard time, obviously, merging the data. But that's not just to Gorgias, limitation to Gorgias. It's to every channel.
Really, the third-party platforms that have that thing in it, so you tuck into the guard, you get the information, you'll probably see you want if they're further I think information watching.
He's asking how the data is stored.
And also,
I believe, right?
Use any kind of third parties to identify who the user is, even though you're not collecting. Like if they're not logged in, how do we use cookies and all these other elements to identify who they are? Honestly, not an expert at it, to be honest. So product team.
Yeah,
might be the
you
best.
and Raf may have to chit chat later.
Yeah. Okay. I think the gentleman back there.
If I know them, curious eyes, and it's but they read, so you've got specific pricing or specific catalog.
My assumption is yes. I used to work at a wholesale company, so we're dealing with like a lot of retailers is what and then you have wholesale pricing. Is that what you guys do? But it's still product based, yes? Yeah.
Because it costs different to buy it wholesale than it does to buy it at like an individual level, right? I don't know, but that's a great question, and Raf heard it. So, like I said, like if I were you, I'd be like, "Hey, can you guys do this?" Like, and then whatever.
It depends. As long as you're on Shopify and you have all the information that's needed, and if it's gated, again, I come from B2B as well, and it was mostly like Magento, and Magento wasn't able to pull the pricing information we couldn't pull. So Shopify, if you're on Shopify, I can't imagine why not. At least the level of like support. At least if it's generic, you filter out any kind of generic messages and then coming down to human agents. But we can
That's a
definitely
great
chat
question.
more. Yeah.
Great question. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
You mentioned the recorded dashboard about voice. Is that available already or when in the
My understanding is like Q3, Q4 later this year, but I know it's being built, like being tested. So if you want it to be an early, like kind
we
of
do.
access to feedback, if you want, if you want to give us feedback, of course it wouldn't be perfect when you get access to it, but I'll definitely get your information and keep you posted.
I think in the voice and like to get the bullet.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Very. I need a little bit. Thanks.
Behavior what? Yeah. So basically, we kind of just like again, it was a document that we had, like these measurements equal this size, and we just uploaded that document into our AI, and then we also, like the SOP that we use to train our agents, like literally don't get me wrong, this AI is not taking over all of our size and fit questions. That's still like again, like what I said, it's our bread and butter. Our human agents are still taking a lot of size and fit questions, but it's handling the very basic ones. Like somebody who has just always thought, for example, it's handling these kind of customers, like someone who shops at Victoria's Secret, they've always worn like a size C, it never fits them. And so they come to Pepper and they're like, I don't even know how you measure for a bra. Like I got these measurements, I don't even know what they mean. They're handling like the very simple questions. And so that wasn't hard. We literally just uploaded our documents and then tested it. You always follow up any new information, or I don't know if that's what y'all do, but what I do is I always follow up any new information by testing it to make sure that it's right.
Just uploaded how like they needed to customer side and sure if they on a product they needed it. Did they get video on it for a minute or how does that work?
Well, since I've started, we've had like a sizing chart on our page because it's a common thing that like most women don't like measure to get their bra size. Like we think we're a size B and that's what size we buy. But if we actually measured, we're actually like maybe a C or a double D. So it's just knowing our customer base and knowing that that's a common question that most women have. Is that answering the question at all?
I feel like you're asking the behavior, right? The proactive assistant, like how does it determine if someone's gonna... It's based on length of the session.
Yeah. A lot of the chat campaigns we have going on, like we have one that's really successful. It's an FAQ chat campaign. And it's, so if like a customer is lingering on a page for like 30 seconds and it seems like they're gonna have exit intent, that's part of the rules we put into the chat campaign, it'll pop up our frequently asked questions. Do you wanna know how this feels? Do you wanna know what this looks like? Do you wanna, just to catch that customer right when they would come down.
And we offer 3 types of engagement features. So chat campaign is one of them, but another feature that's amazing is that it what Seeking Health like Max demo too.
Yeah.
It's like 3 to 5 commonly asked questions so that the user can choose which one they feel the most relevant in.
Yeah.
Again,
We
triggered by sessions.
We just don't have that one yet, but we do want that one.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I know this was such an incredible session. Thank you for engaging with us. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either of us. But we're super excited to, again, continue to get to know you, meet with you in a bit through happy hour. Hopefully we can see you there.
I will see you guys there if you go. We can chit chat.